Hi, Dave Johnston here with Day Trade the Markets. Today is Friday, June the 30th, 2017. We're looking at a 2-minute chart of the August crude contract. So I've just been filled long here, 45.49. We have had, I'll just go back a little bit here. You can see what happened yesterday. The market had a high right up here at 45.45. We tested it early today, just poked our head slightly above it, as you can see right. Let me get the arrow here, as you can see right here. So right in there. It backed off a bit. I thought, if it had any kind of strength on the sell side, it should really come down and test into this volume area in here. But it didn't do that, as you can see here. It did move off a little bit after being rejected here. It did make new lows. The low right here for the day at that time was right here. So you can see the market did come down and take out that low by a little bit. It did it once here, twice, and then the third time it kind of gave it up with actually a higher low. And then when it took this area out here, you see it gave it a good test in this time frame, and then it's moved up nicely. So, and it has attracted some very aggressive buying, which is what these blue bars are. The blue bars are the most aggressive of the buying bars that we have in our software. Magenta, as you can see over here, is the most aggressive on the sell side. So the green, these two greens are also aggressive buying. The dark green is just behind the blue, and the light green is the weakest of the three. So we have three colored paint bars on the aggressive buy and three on the aggressive sell. So we've come down here. Now this is the likely area of support, I thought I was long more contracts here. I'm going to buy more. Oops, right away. I wanted to get long a total of 4. So I'm just going to go ahead and buy another 3 right in here. My stop is going to be down in here, just a little bit below that. And I'll make that for 4. So we're now long 4 from 50, and the stop is at 37. Notice I put the stop a little bit below the low of this blue bar, because the market could still easily get down and test into this area in here, which what I expect would act as support, should that happen. So that's it for now. I'll go ahead and pause the recording and pick it up when needed. Okay, just resume the recording. I just got filled long here at 24, 23 and a quarter. I've got my stop in, my first objective here. Actually, I need to change this down to just 2 contracts because we're long 4 in this emini S&P. So this is my first objective up here, where I would like to sell half the position. So our stop's at 24.20, long 24.23 and a quarter. It's a 3 1/4 point stop. It's a little bit more than what I'd like, but I have placed this line in here manually. And I've also placed this line in here from yesterday manually. Otherwise, everything you see on the chart is produced by the Day Trade the Markets software. So that's the other trade we've got going on right now. So I'll pause the recording and pick it up when needed. Okay, just resume the recording. We just made a new high here for the day, so it's moving up nicely. I'm going to go ahead and take a profit on a couple of these contracts up here in the 15 tick range. So it's going to go ahead and basically market that at 66. So it gives us 16 ticks in the first 2 contracts. Now I'm just going to make a notation here that this is where we were filled, just so we know that. We'll also put a marker down here where we got in, and another one down here. Now the stop, I'm going to go ahead and move it to the bar that made the new high. Right, okay, we got a green bar here that's made a new high. So I'm going to raise that stop. I think I'm going to put it here at 60. We're long from 50. So I also need to change the quantity on that down to 2, because we're just long 2 contracts now after selling 2. So that's it. Let's see. Yeah, right there. Okay. So that's good. Let's see how that gold contract or gold trade is doing. Or sorry, emini S&P. Yeah, it did come down. We did not get stopped. It's right back up to our entry. So not doing a whole heck of a lot here. We'll have to give it some more time. So once again, I'll just go ahead and pause the recording. Okay, just restarted the recording. You can see that we did have a bit of a dip here. It came down and hit, what's that, 68. So I'm going to move the stop up to 67. So we're long from 50. So we've locked in 17. We got 16, so I'll just make an adjustment on that marker right there. So we got 16 ticks in the first two contracts and have locked in 17 ticks on the final two contracts. So this market is looking good, and it could certainly continue to rally. Who knows, for a while. Now we've got about an hour left in the trading session. So just want to bring you up to date on that. Let's take a look over at the ES trade that we've been monitoring. Here we are. So it's just not really done anything. Anyway, so that's it for now, and I'll pause the recording and come back when needed. Okay, just restarted the recording again. We've had another new high formed here after a dip to here, and that is at 45.75. So raise this to up here to 45.74. So they'll lock in 24 ticks here on the second half of the position. So just want to bring you up to date on that, and let's go ahead and see if the ES is doing anything for us here. Okay, we're starting to get a bit of a lift. It's nice to see that we've actually had a couple of these decel bars, selling bars that decelerated. Another one here, and their highs have been taken out. So that's good. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up the stop as a result. So the low right there, when it did sell off and decelerate, got to 23. So I'm going to go ahead and put it at 22.50. We're long from 23.25. I can stretch this out a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it like that. We just have a 3-tick stop on this trade now. So I'll go ahead once again, pause the recording. Okay, I just restarted the recording. I'm going to bump up this stop a little bit here. We're getting late in the session. There's only 15 minutes left, and quite often the market will sell off with some profit takers at the end of the day, especially on a Friday after the market has moved up quite a bit over the past few days. So I've got that stop now at 45.80. That's going to lock in 30 ticks on each of the final two contracts. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that. And let's see how the ES is doing. Well, not a lot still. This has been a very quiet day. What's the range on here? From 19 to 29, a little under 10 points it looks. So that's okay. We'll just leave it for now. There's still a couple of hours left in the trading day for the ES, and about 15 minutes left in the crude. So we'll just leave the ES. It's looking okay. I think it's worth leaving the trade on, in other words. What I might go ahead and do, though, is, we're starting to get a bit of a bounce here. That's good to see. Okay, well, we'll just leave it the way it is for now, and we'll come back in particular and take a look at this crude shortly. I'll pause the recording now. Okay, just restarting the computer, or the video recording again. It's moving up nicely, which we'd like to see, obviously. So I think what I'm going to do here is just really bump this up to 95 near the just towards the top of that blue bar, the bottom of the green bar. That'll lock in 45 ticks each on the last two contracts, so that's good. And I'll put this marker in here, and I'm also going to exit this trade in about 5 minutes, because the market's going to close in about 6 minutes. So I will exit this with a market order here in 5 minutes if we haven't been stopped out. So just want to bring you up to date on that. We'll take another quick look at the ES, see how we're doing on the stock market here. Okay, it's continuing to move up. We're long from 23.25. It's at 26 at the moment, so that's good. And we still got a little under 2 hours to go on that, so we'll just let that keep trading for the time being. I am going to raise the stop up to break even. I think I'll do break even plus a tick on that one, and just make a notation here where our stop is now. Stretch that out a little bit. Okay, that's it for now. I'll pick it up here probably in about 5 minutes time. Okay, just started the recording again. The market is about to close, so I'm going to go ahead and exit this right here. Close that trade right there at 03, so that's where we ended up by getting filled on that. So this trade worked out quite nicely. It's The market has, well, we were long here down at 50. We got out of the first two at 66, and the final two at 03. So, that's 53, that's 106 on just the final two contracts, and another 32. So that's 136 ticks on this particular trade. So certainly can't complain about that. We were trading in the direction of the prevailing market direction of the crude, which has been going up over the past several days. And we were able to identify the rejection of the lower prices and the likelihood that it would continue, where we were able to get in on a pullback down into this area of support, where the starting of a box formation here, and the likelihood that it would break higher and getting on board to be able to participate in that up move. So the crude trade has really worked out great. We're going to keep on this video here because we've still got this going on. We've got a couple of hours, well, a little bit less than that now, available to go in on the or left in the regular trading hours of the emini S&P. So we're just going to, we've got our trade on board, and we've got our stop in at just one tick on the plus side, but we've got our limit up here. So we'll just leave it the way it is for now, and I'll pause the recording. Okay, just restarted again. We did have a bit of a dip here with this green bar, but it was a deceleration and a divergence, as you can see with the dot and the triangle below the bar. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the stop up to 2 ticks below that, to 24.75. We're long from 23.25. So at least that locks in a 1.5. Should it just kind of not do anything for the rest of the day. We've got our sell limit up here still, resting order at 24.27.25. So just want to bring you up to date on that, and once again I'll pause the recording. Okay, just restarted the recording. We just got filled a moment ago right here at 27.25. So I'm going to make an adjustment on the stop down to just, or lower the quantity down from 4 to 2. Just have 2 contracts left. So I have gone ahead, so that was from 23 to 27. So that's 4 points each on the first 2 contracts. And we've locked in a 1.5 here at this stage for each of the final 2 contracts. So we'll just leave it at that. We've got about an hour and a half left in the trading session. So once again, I'll pause the recording. Okay, resume the recording here. It did come down. We had a good stop in place, if you recall why we put it there, just below the this deceleration bar here. It did come back down about 10 minutes or so ago, and now we've come up. We're making new highs for them. So I'm going to go ahead and adjust the stop here. I'm going to bring this up to 26.50 for the time being, and I'll move this marker here over to here so we can see that. So just want to bring you up to date on that. There is approximately 20 minutes or so left in the trading session. So I'll pause the recording. We'll certainly be getting out of this trade before the end of the regular trading hours today. So I'll get back to you soon. Okay, just resume the recording. We just got hit right here just a moment ago, and we're stopped out of the final 2 contracts right there at 26.50. Interesting to note that I decided not, we knew that this line here that I'd put on since yesterday was a likely resistance area. I didn't go ahead and exit any of the contracts there, although maybe I should have, perhaps one of them at any rate. But just the same, I just left it in here thinking it was the end of the day and maybe we get a nice run up, but that's how I decided to manage it. So at any rate, we were here at 23.25, so we had 3 points on our first half of the position, and we're out at 26.50 for 2.25 points. I'm sorry, 3.25 points. Yeah, 23 to. So yeah, sorry, it was 4 points on the first objective and 3.25 points on the second. So 3.25 is 6.5 plus the other 8. So that's 8. That's 14.5. So that's 750, and we had a really nice trade on the crude today. And we picked up about 130 some ticks on that, which is like $1,300 or so. It was a really nice day today with these two trades, able to pull a couple $1,000 out of the market. So we're trading 4 contracts in both the crude and the ES today. So if you have any other questions, this video ended up by being quite long. Of course, we were in the market for quite a long time. So at any rate, that's how it goes. Anyway, I appreciate you watching the recording of these two trades and how we're able to manage them and so forth. So if you have any questions, be happy to hear from you. Just reach out at info@daytradethemarkets.com. Thanks again and have a great day.